ده برot لي، ده بيستنى صح. Ой, мы что-то это старший. Зрение какое-то, зрение. Выкидывать нет, не просто это важно. Есть на самом деле. Круцификс. Ладно. Ну, наоборот. Лемон 3. Сколько не 3? Это наоборот. Ну, это он имел в виду. Да, тебе так было, а себе так было. Так, ну, поставим. Оплата твоя! Да, так. Это она имеет в виду это дело, да. Так это и есть на самом деле. Так вот это и есть на самом деле. Ну да. Блин, что? Мне говорят, так, наверное, поем. Голодный точно. Знатно, но знатно. Наоборот, да. Да, наоборот. Ну, что ты кажешь? Судья. Наоборот, да. Ты себе так говоришь. Наоборот, ну ладно, понял. Ну вот это есть на самом деле, ладно. Все нормально.
Считается, что январь самый холодный месяц в году. Но мы знаем, где будет жарко этой зимой. Смотрите Кубок Африки Вовка, трансляции всех матчей, интервью и аналитика. Все, чтобы вы не замерзли.
Да.
Hey guys, so recently I had a lot of people wanting me to do a video on this topic, so I'm going to go ahead and do it. So recently, Julian Michaels gave her opinion on the ketogenic diet, and I just want to go through point by point and talk about it. So let's get started.
I've been in the fitness business for a long time. What's changed the most over the years?
Oh my gosh, I mean, the reality of fitness and nutrition is they're all just fads reskinned, right? I mean, if you think about it, like right now it's keto. And like, I don't know if anybody's as old as me in this room, but that diet used to be called Atkins. And my mother did it in 1980. So, you know...
So it is true, the Atkins diet does put you in ketosis. But the Atkins diet is pretty high in protein. So in ketosis.
1980. So, you know...
So it is true, the Atkins diet does put you in ketosis. But the Atkins diet is pretty high in ketosis. But the Atkins diet is pretty high in protein. So keto is moderate protein. Okay, so I just want to clarify that.
Oh, you know, what happens is that people will take fads and trends and reskin them with a different name.
So what is
What happens is that people will take fads and trends and reskin them with a different name.
so what is keto is low carb?
Keto is exactly, it puts you in ketosis.
But you know, but that's not good for you though.
No, it's not. And at the end of the day, just like 2 + 2 will always equal 4, when it comes to health, it's an energy equation. Eat less, use common sense with your food choices, and move more. And that's just...
All right, guys, so that is the solution. If we just ate less and moved more, we would all lose weight. First of all, if you're in practice for any period of time and you're working with people one-on-one, especially over the age of 40, especially if they're female, especially if they're premenopausal, you're going to run up against a situation with a very slow metabolism. And eating less and moving more is not going to work. So one thing she really doesn't realize is that exercise has a very small influence over your ability to lose weight. Maybe if you're lucky, it's 15%. That means that 85% of your results in weight loss has to do with eating.
That's just simple science. You can't...
Simple science.
Okay, let me ask you this. With all the information that's out there, what's the biggest myth?
I would think the one of them...
All right, let's go to another one.
The keto diet. I don't understand. Like, why would anybody think this is a good idea? Your cells, your macromolecules, are literally made up of protein, fat, carbohydrates, nucleic acids.
Okay, so let's talk about that point. This is one of the million reasons why you should not do a ketogenic diet, because your cells are made out of fat, protein, carbohydrates, and nucleic acids. Most of your brain is fat. Most of your nervous system is fat. Most of your endocrine system is fat. And then the rest is protein. You actually don't have a large amount of carbohydrate that makes up the structural part of your body. Yes, it can be used as fuel, but it doesn't make up body cells. So if your brain and nervous system and muscles are mostly protein and fat, why wouldn't you want to consume a higher fat, moderate protein, low carbohydrate diet? The diet that she recommends is very high in carbohydrate. So what physical, structural component of your cells are high in carbohydrate? There is none.
When you do not eat one of the 3 macronutrients, those 3 things I just mentioned, you're starving your cells.
All right, so let me just kind of explain this. And this is mainly for new people. It's not for people who have been watching my videos. It's really obvious that she just does not understand this one really important topic in relationship to the ketogenic diet, and that is the word insulin. She does not understand what that is and what it does, how it functions in the body. So for those of you that are new, insulin is a hormone made by the pancreas. and one of its functions is to lower blood sugars, okay? And it gets triggered by carbohydrates. When we consume too much carb, we raise insulin too much, and then we develop a condition called insulin resistance, where your body is blocking it. When you get insulin resistance, what happens is the body starts making more of it to try to connect with that cell because it's being resistive.
Those macronutrients serve a very important purpose for your overall health and well-being, each and every one of them. Period, end of story. You don't eat processed sugar, you don't eat processed grains. And to make a very long story short, avoid keto.
Ну, наоборот, да нет, понял. Да, забей.
Keto diet.
So when you do a balanced diet and include all this carbohydrate, you're going to keep insulin very, very high. In presence of just a little bit of insulin, all the fat-burning hormones get blocked and nullified. So in other words, insulin blocks and prevents weight loss. The more insulin in the bloodstream, the harder it is to lose weight. If someone has a slow metabolism and they have a little too much insulin, they're going to have even a tougher time losing weight despite how many hours of exercise that they do. And when you develop insulin resistance, you can't absorb those nutrients. So the concept of everything in moderation or a balanced diet is a very bad idea. So I looked at Julian's website just to find out what food she's recommending. Of course, you can do toast, you can do fruit like apples and bananas, you can do yogurt, waffles, pizza, pop chips. That's processed potato, okay? These are all just going to raise insulin. It's going to make it harder and harder to lose weight. And one more little point about this is that she's part owners with a company called SodaStream, and some of the products have sugar in it. So, of course, she has to justify that. I mean, the ketogenic diet right now is exploding. It is the fastest trending diet right now. And because she spent years promoting the same old low-calorie, low-fat, whole grain, eat everything in moderation, snacking between meals, she obviously has to defend that viewpoint because there are so many people searching for the ketogenic diet, and her whole thing is the exact opposite of the ketogenic diet. So it's really obvious that she's not trying to understand it, she doesn't have a clue, she doesn't understand insulin, and she just has to invalidate it because it's basically
Как бы ей нельзя это понимать, типа он
All
хочет
right, so let's just
сказать.
continue. This is an article, NBC internal investigation of the ketogenic diet. So it's really obvious that she's not trying to understand it. She doesn't have a clue. She doesn't understand insulin, and she just has to invalidate it because it's basically opposing her diet. All right, so let's just continue. This is an article, NBC internal investigation probed whether Biggest Loser contestants were given drugs. So right now there's a lawsuit going on to determine if there was drugs involved to help people lose weight. Julian Michaels was one of the personal trainers involved in this show, and very, very few of these contestants ever kept the weight off, simply because they found that it slowed their metabolism. Let me show you.
They found that the average contestant's metabolism had dramatically slowed down, and although they may have continued to eat healthy and exercise, they had trouble keeping the weight off.
So the big problem with the Biggest Losers is the carbohydrate content. When you keep the carbohydrates too high, it actually slows the metabolism. And even ketosis by itself needs to be done in a healthy way because it's not lose weight and get healthy, it's get healthy to lose the weight. Now that might sound really simple, but it's very, very effective, especially if you want to keep the weight off. So for those of you that are new to keto, don't get discouraged when you hear things like this. Learn the facts. Understand why it works, how it works, understand insulin. I put a little mini course down below for you personally to get the facts and not the opinions that are not true, so you yourself can get the amazing results that keto has the potential to give you.
Keto is low carb.
Keto is exactly, it puts you in ketosis.
But you know, but that's not good for you.
No, it's not.
So I've lost 130 pounds with keto and intermittent fasting. And I love it. I feel amazing.
Little old me was on 350 milligrams of blood pressure meds. Every time I complained to the doctors, they just keep giving me more and more, and it wasn't helping me. So I decided to quit everything and do keto and intermittent fasting, and it is so working. I'm the healthier for it. I feel like it added back 30 years to my life.
I lost from July to November, I lost 60 pounds.
You know, we need to
Могилу
do
копаешь,
full-fat
чтобы
animal
ты
protein. Ding, ding, ding. No, bad plan.
I've been on keto since a year ago, January. I'm 76. I've lost 25 pounds.
I've been following your plan for like last 14 months, and I have lost about 40 pounds. Brought back my A1C below 5.5, which is 5.4 now, and kind of reversed my pre-diabetes. And also lost my stomach inches about 8 inches.
Wow.
That's not bad.
I've been doing keto since December, so I lost 42 pounds. I'm in maintenance now. I'm back to the weight I was pretty much in high school.
Lost about 40 pounds.
Wow. I've been on your keto diet since 5 months, and I've lost 50 pounds, and I'm
No, bad plan.
insulin dependent type 2, and I'm 72 years old. I was on 100 units a day of insulin, and I've been able to bring it down to 20 units.
So I am following you last 62 days, and I lost almost 50 pound weight in 60 days.
Wow.
I've been following your keto on steroids since end of November. It's been going pretty well. Lost about 46 pounds or so now.
Ding, ding, ding. No, bad plan.
I am ecstatic. I have gotten rid of all of my arthritis.
So my journey through keto and intermittent fasting has been something that has literally like changed my life. It has also saved my life. You know, I started keto diet because of fighting brain cancer, and before that I was doing the complete opposite. And I never thought in a million years that I was going to be consuming low carbs, and I never thought that I would feel the way that I do, and now I feel better than I ever have when I'm really not supposed to. You know, I was going through chemotherapy and radiation, and that's kind of when I found the ketogenic diet, and you know, doctors were like, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, this is going to happen. They gave me literally a book of side effects and symptoms and problems I was going to have, and I literally had none of them. And keto diet and intermittent fasting has been so incredibly powerful in overcoming that, and it's something that has changed my life in more ways than one. Other than physical results, it's mental results, it's just emotional balance, it's incredible. And again, keto diet has literally saved my life.
Жить, чтобы есть, или есть, чтобы жить? Извечный вопрос, наоборот. Ничтожество, да. Ну вот он про себя и говорил так. Нет, я...
Вы хотите, чтобы у вас была здоровая спина и правильная осанка? Вы мечтаете, чтобы ваши красивые шеи и подтянутый овал лица скрывали истинный возраст? Вы считаете, что вам может помочь только пластическая хирургия, потому что вы
Я ничего не считаю, что ты мне рассказываешь.
So maybe you're wanting to start the keto diet, but you don't really know where to begin. It's not like there's just a handbook that gives you a very simple way to know what to do. So in this video, I'm giving you the complete guide to starting the ketogenic diet. I'm giving you the breakdown of some things that work, and we're going to go down this entire list, and some things that don't work. But I'm also going to give you the steps that you can take to get started. All the way down to what kind of almonds and what kind of cashews and things like that you should or should not be eating. This is also perfect for you to share with your friends and family. So maybe you know someone that's starting the keto diet or wants to start the keto diet, but they're just confused and they don't know where to begin. This is going to be the end-all be-all resource. It's going to give you a lot of details because I've done so many videos on the keto diet, but it's nice to be able to put them all into one consolidated form that serves as a complete guide. So let me give you a quick rundown of what we're going to go through. But first, I want to make sure you hit that subscribe button here on my channel. We got new videos every single Tuesday, Friday, and Sunday at 7 a.m. Pacific time in the world of keto, fasting, but not just that, everything in between as well. So just general health and fitness too. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. Now let's talk about what we're going to cover. All right, so first off, we're going to talk about what is the keto diet? What are the benefits? What is this thing that everyone's talking about? Okay, then we're going to talk about what keto is not. Because believe it or not, there's a lot of question out there, and a lot of people get confused. So we're going to talk about how it's not ketoacidosis, it's not paleo. We'll talk about a lot of different things. And then I've got some science to back up some of these myths that are surrounding keto. So we're talking about muscle sparing, talking about how it's sustainable, talking about the therapeutic side of it. Now I'm also going to play devil's advocate, okay? I'm a very honest person with this. I'm not just going to tout the ketogenic diet. I want to give you everything you need to learn so you can do it properly. Then we're going to talk about fat adaptation. Fat adaptation is a really cool thing where you actually get your body used to using fats as fuel even when you're not on the keto diet. All right, then we're going to talk about preparing for keto. what you can do, how do you get prepared, how do you get started, what kind of environment should you be in, how should your food be available, all this stuff. I'm going to give you the breakdown there. Then we're going to talk about caffeine and coffee on keto, how it works, can you have it, what should you do, what shouldn't you do. We're going to talk about the first steps. What are the first steps in that very first week following a ketogenic diet? Talking about keeping your fats higher, talking about modulating inflammation, how you can do this so you have the most effective first week or two so you get the most out of your keto diet. Okay, then we're going to talk about the keto flu. We're going to talk about what causes that. We're going to talk about ways that you can overcome it so you don't get run down that first week or two on the keto diet. Then we're going to talk about working out, your general fitness, your exercise. This is super important, whether you are at it for body composition reasons or to just feel better. Knowing how to work out and knowing what happens in your body when you work out on the keto diet that's different from an ordinary diet is very important. So we're going to talk about that in the first phase, in the first early part of keto and beyond. Also, we're going to reference some studies there. We're going to talk about your cholesterol levels. This is a viable concern. What happens to your cholesterol when you're eating all this fat and the saturated fat? Is it bad? What's going to happen? I'm going to break it down for you so you're a little less concerned about that. Then we're going to answer the big question on net carbs and fiber. Okay, this is a common question for those that are on the keto diet, is do the carbs count if it's fiber?
Yum yum.
All this kind of stuff. Then we're going to talk about bulletproof coffee and different variations. Okay, that means the butter coffee, where you add the coffee and the butter and the coconut oil and make the super tasty drink. Talk about a couple different variations of that and what you can do with that. We're going to talk about how to measure your ketone levels, how to know if you're in ketosis, and how to do it the right way. Because there's a few different variations of testing, and some of them are good and some of them are bad. Okay, then we're going to talk about sweeteners. Okay, we're going to talk about the sweeteners that are good to go and the ones that you should probably forego overall if you want to have long-term success on the keto diet. Okay, then we're going to talk about the timing in between your meals. How long should you wait in between meals on keto? Because actually, with a keto diet, you can play with the timing and get more of an effect. I'm going to talk about what I call the protein sandwich hypothesis, which is something that I've created over time and having success with the keto diet. Then we're going to talk about the best veggies on keto. Then we're going to talk about what kind of alcohols you can consume on keto, but also just about alcohol in general on keto, how it affects the ketogenic diet. We're going to talk about what not to drink. So talking about some things like BCAAs and some whey protein. So
Ну, про это и
still
говорил
drink
тебе,
them.
ну да, да. Извещенный.
I just want to tell you how and when. Talk about fruit, because believe it or not, you can still have a little bit of fruit on keto. We're also going to talk about ways that you can add fats into your diet, how to get more fats, because believe it or not, it becomes difficult when you're on a keto diet. We're going to talk about too much protein. Can you have too much protein? There's a lot of stuff circulating the internet, circulating the media that if you have too much protein, it knocks you out of keto. We just need to clarify some things there because it's not quite the case. Then we're going to talk about supplements and supplemental ketones, exogenous ketones, things like that. Are they necessary? And what do they do? And do they work? Are they safe? And we're going to talk about ways to enhance your ketogenic lifestyle, maybe by adding intermittent fasting or some other forms of exercise you can do to real.
Ну, это либо диабетик, для диабетиков же это все. Ну, только средний. Ты что, он диабетик, что ли?
What I want to do tonight,
since this is the 1 hour version rather than the 3 hour or the 6 hour or, no, I haven't done the 12 hour yet, the version of Why Mahler is I'm going to give a number of interpretations fairly quickly, almost as tweets, to try and give an understanding of how Mahler worked and why it is that Mahler feels so relevant to us today. Because what we're talking of here is a phenomenon unique in the history of music. Why Mahler? Never in the history of music has a composer rejected, derided in his lifetime, discarded for decades after his death, returned to displace Beethoven at the center of the culture. Why not? What's that about? Is that about a composer born in 1860, died in 1911, and what he wrote and how he lived? Or is it about us and who we are and what we hear in the music and how we interpret the music? And I'm going to give you a number of interpretations, some of which are musical, some of which are perhaps Freudian, and there's a reason for doing some Freudian interpretation because Mahler and Freud were working essentially the same method. When they met at the end of August 1910, and they talked together for 4.5 hours, longest single analysis of Freud's life, and something that transformed Mahler's life at that particular point. Freud said nobody had understood him so instantly and profoundly as Mahler had done the year before. And the reason is they were both operating with the same idea that if they took biographical incident, something that they had experienced, and developed a universal theory out of it, they would somehow solve the solutions of mankind. They would make the world a better place to live in. Okay? So that's those, if you like, are my justifications, and that's the preliminary stuff. Why not? When we talk of Mahler as being contemporary to us, what do we mean? Very simple. If Bach were to come knocking at your door, you wouldn't know what to say. Mozart, you would send him away. You know, a giggly fellow. Yeah. What would you do with Mozart? Yeah, Beethoven come banging at your door, pa 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 pa. You'd go and dive under the bed. Mahler, you didn't know all your friends. You would have a conversation. Because the issues that Mahler deals with in his music, you sense that the issues that Mahler deals with in his music are somehow the issues that we live with today. Issues of relationship breakdown, issues of multiculturalism, issues of work-life balance, issues of stress. All of these things are present in Mahler's music as they haven't been in any music until Mahler, and as they are in very little music post-Mahler. So how is that? Why is that? Why Mahler? If we're going to begin, we'll begin not quite at the beginning. I want you to picture a little boy, 6 or 7 years old, who lives above a pub. His parents don't get on. There's constant stress and tension in the household. And downstairs in the pub, it's a garrison town. There are soldiers, there are officers.
Mata on me, I was on there. What did they go on? Chariot. Cheater. Сахар. Фруктоза. Сахароза, точнее.
Come on in. Check out Masterclass. See what we got to say to you.
We have these complicated origins.
Ну, наоборот, да, ну это есть он.
You slipped up. You had a cheat meal. Maybe it was planned, maybe it wasn't, but you did.
Смотри, если ты не будешь потреблять никаких белков, будешь есть только фрукты. Ну, допустим, фрукты, овощи. Для начала. А потом только на фрукты, ну, к примеру тебе говорю, да. То есть ты не захочешь двигаться, не захочешь никаких тренировок, лишних движений, которые как бы не нужны. Они не то есть, понимаешь, да, то есть, да. Ну да. Наверное, так, да, понимаю. Но придется работать тогда. И спокойно работать, да. То есть без кофеина, там, просто вот на фруктах и воде и такого. Понимаешь, и без сахара тоже. Она понимает. Типа того, да, понимаешь. Не все к этому готовы, мягко выражаясь. А ты можешь так свою работу делать, чтобы... Ну, у меня вообще сейчас работы никакой нету. Кстати, ну ты понимаешь, действительно так, да, понимаю, да. Да, ну это не важно, это уже другие там, да. Ну да, ты имеешь в виду, да. Ты хочешь сказать, что ты физическую работу, если ты грузчик какой-то? Ну, грузчик это вообще не человеческая как бы работа. То есть, что ты рычаг не можешь, что ли, изобрести? Тележку, что ли, или что? И поумнеть не можешь, нормально работать, то есть квалифицироваться не можешь как-то, что ли. Пусть лохи работают, начинающие студенты какие-то. Ну, например, ты приехал в Москву, начал работать грузчиком. Просто это ничего хорошего там нету. И это просто ну, потому что надо ехать, чтобы делом заниматься, не чтобы кем попало. Там, или в Нью-Йорк приехал, в Питер, там, да. Ну, да. Ну ладно, давай не будем. Да, ногами работать. Это нет, это все. Да, это женские какие-то дела, там меня не касаются они вообще. Я просто о чем говорю-то. Да, понимаете. Нет, я имею в виду. Я про мужчин говорю. То есть, про женщин я вообще не говорю. То есть, это что, положи метлу на место, как говорится. Понимаете, наверное, да отвалите. Я говорю про профессии, то есть заведомо говорю про мужчин, про мымр, которые что-то там, где-то что-то у них там проблемы какие-то, что меня не касается. Я тебе говорю, что представляешь, ты мужик, ты решил, что я с семьей переезжаю, например, вечер. Да насрать, да надоел, ты уже ненормальный, отвали. Да, то есть, ну да. То есть и приедешь туда работать кем попало. А ты уже не можешь, потому что у тебя семья, ты уже, да, понимаешь. Тебе придется уже кем попало там работать. Либо тебе надо ехать только, чтобы дело делать. То есть, понимаешь, он тебя. Либо ты на быт приезжаешь туда. Если ты приезжаешь в Нью-Йорк куда-нибудь на быт, то, скорее всего, ну да, это я тебе не могу сказать. То есть, а что они здесь-то не могли жить? Уехали от князей? Да нет, князей не уехали, они просто бездельники были, наверное. Да, он тебя просто понял, да. То есть, всяких войн, репрессий. То есть, ну, наверное, что сильно нарывались, что ли, не знаю. Ну, не знаю, может и так тоже, наверное. Да, он про это и говорил. Политические беженцы всякие. Ну, так сильно нарывались, значит, да, понимаешь, он тебя... Мне это не касается, я тебе еще раз говорю. Да. Ну, то есть, да, туда приедешь, ну, куда-нибудь, в мегаполисы, более центральные города, чем... То есть, из Чемсей в Ижевск, например. Из Ижевска, ну, Казань, Екатеринбург, ну, Москва, например. Ну, или Питер, или что-нибудь типа, да. То есть, ты туда зачем приедешь? Просто на быт. Ну, в Питер-то неизвестно, да. Ну, в Москву в основном еду в таких случаях, ну, может и Питер тоже, черт знает. То есть, ну, да. Если Питер, то, скорее всего, для чего-то уже поедешь туда, да. То есть, и не обязательно, что это очень хорошо. Я имею в виду, что, да, понимаю, да. Ну, что там, типа, ну, снобский, наверное, там все-таки какой-то момент, да. Да. То есть, ну, наверное, и там своя туса, наверное, у них тоже, поэтому... Тоже и так все просто. Меня не касается, я просто не суть, ну, мегаполис куда-то, более центральный, потом, не знаю, более европейский уже получается тогда, более западный, да, типа, мир, ты потом, ну, просто более профессиональный, да, типа, да, то есть, и что ты там будешь делать? Да, там где, да, понимает, ты там, да, не конкурент вообще не надо, понимать это. Да. Ну, он про себя так думает, да. То есть, я про это и говорю, что надо приезжать, сразу, надо ехать для того, чтобы только делом заниматься. Приезжать на дело, сразу ехать, наверное, понимаете. Да, он о себе так думает. Да. Ну, это тебе так, он говорит, да, нам, да. Как скажешь, специальность, повышать квалификацию, не знаю, то есть, то есть, что-то делать сразу. Ты туда приехал никто, и, а зачем? Так если ты никто, ты будешь там ногами работать. То есть ходить там, не знаю, Яндекс.Почта какая-нибудь, да. То есть это ничего в этом хорошего нет. Значит, ты по своей специальности никто. Ты можешь получить образование музыкальное в Симсях и приехать в Питер и быть там музыкантом. Может, не самым первым, да, но каким-то можешь быть, понимаешь. А можешь и в Питере приехать, и это сложно уже представить тогда, да. Понимает он тебя, да. Ну я шучу уже просто так. Да. То есть надо ехать туда сразу дальше как-то реализовываться, то есть свою. Да, типа того. То есть только по бизнесмену, поняла. Я не про бизнес, я про дела говорю. Бизнес это понятие такое. Да. Но в форме чистой прибыли от людей, которые получается. Да, то есть, имеется в виду, что не без посредника. Да пошел нахер, да достал уже, да.